Alright, so here we are with part 3 of our cat pictures app tutorial, building a cat pictures app using PhoneGap with HTML5, CSS, and some jQuery in there. This part is actually fairly simple. So we have everything built out to where we have our cat pictures displaying, we have our favorites, you can click them, you can click off of them. And if this was a part of an actual live API, if this was referencing something that continually pulled in cat pictures, then you'd be able to see new cat pictures continually populating. And, we would have to maybe add some sort of a refresh button inside of here or something like that. But we have the basics down. And all of this done with 4 simple files. We have the index.html, our jQuery, and then all the functions that we built out using jQuery, and then of course our CSS to style everything. So the final things that we need to do here to make this ready for PhoneGap and ready to publish an app is I'm going to create a new file inside of here and call this config.xml. What this is a file that basically tells PhoneGap all of the various things that we're going to need when we publish the app. So it'll tell you what the app name is, the description. You can put your author information in there as the author of the app. And you can tell it where to find your icons for different types of phones to show the actual icon on the home screen of the phone. As well as setting any additional preferences. So if you extended this app to give you the ability to upload photos of cats and things like that, then you can add all of that in here as well. So I'm going to paste this information inside of here, and I will make a copy of this available to you on the YouTube channel as well, so that you have that as a starting point. This is the basic configuration for PhoneGap's config.xml. So what we have in here is it's telling you the XML version so that it understands how to read it, and that this is an XML document and all that. And then you have this widget area. So it's starting saying widget and it closes down here at the bottom. This is going to give PhoneGap some additional information that it needs to actually publish your app. So the only thing that we need to change inside of here is the ID. So for the ID of this app, this is something that you're going to find once you start publishing to the Play Store and to Apple's iTunes or whatever they call it. I forget. I'm not an Apple guy. So the ID for the app, you put it in a very specific order, and this is how everybody names their apps. But you start with com dot whatever the name of your app is. So I'll call it cat pictures. And then you can add another dot and add like free or paid or if some other way to signify that this is what type of an app this is for you. So adding this in here, you'll also need that when you set it up for publishing to the different stores. And we'll come in here and add in the name of the app, so we can call it Cat Pictures. And a description for the app. So in here you can just write any brief description you want. This will be used to pull into the Play Store and signify whenever they're ready to look at the app and kind of peruse through it and everything. So the description, you can just write something out about cats. Let's see. An app dedicated to pulling in photos of cats and saving your favorites. So just make it a description of what it is. Pretty simple. Now the author, href, and email. This is just the information about the author. So if you have a specific website, http:// catpictures.com, which I don't even know where that goes to. And then the email associated with the app if you want people to be able to contact you. All of this you can also enter into the Play Store and change that up if you need to. This isn't really tied down to anything. But you can just put in that information there. And if you want to put your name along with that as well, the company name or in your personal name, however you're building the app. All right. So then after that, we tell it where to find an icon. This is the icon that will appear again in your drawer on your desktop, wherever you have your app stored. So this is the icon, and with the icon, you typically want to build it. I believe the recommendation is 500 by 500. It might be, it constantly changes. You just have to check on that. But I'm going to hop over to Photoshop real quick, and we'll just create a new 500 by 500 icon here. Say OK. And I'm going to pull over a little window here. This is some additional PhoneGap information, but let's go ahead and find a, let's see, a cat icon. There we go. And why? Oh, can icon. I'm like, why are pictures of cans coming up? Because I can't spell. Cat icon. There we go. So again, I don't use Google Images to just grab whatever you want, but I'm doing it real quick because I'm just doing a quick tutorial here. So I've got my cat icon here. I'm going to click View Image, and my internet's going to be slow, so I'm just going to copy it. And it'll be a little pixelated, but you'll get the idea here. So I've got my little cat inside of there. I'm going to scale it up, which you shouldn't do again, but again, it's just a tutorial. And let's add in a background. There we go, wonderful. There's the icon of my cat. So I'm going to go to save this out for the web. And let's see here, how did I name this? It's a PNG. Save it as a PNG. And let's go to my desktop where my cat app is stored. Call it icon.png. All right, hide Photoshop because I don't need that anymore. So I've got my icon.png. So this is referencing that icon. Now again, if you're building this for multiple devices, you can set up different icon sizes for different devices, but this one icon fits all thing actually works pretty well inside of PhoneGap. But then you have the preferences. Preference, name equals permissions, and value equals none. That's basically saying that your phone does not require any permissions to run this app. Now that it's actually kind of a blank reset on all the permissions, so that with an app like this, we actually do need network permissions to pull photos in from online. But we don't need camera, GPS, the gyroscoping thing, whatever. We don't need any of that. So we reset it to where it's pulling in no preferences instead of all of them, because all is the default. And then we can come in here and look through your preferences inside of PhoneGap support. I just looked up PhoneGap XML file, and it gives me all of the configuration information. This is actually the first page back here. The basics, icon and splash screens, custom URLs, features, plugins, access elements, all of that. So what this is doing is it's giving you all the information you're going to need. There's the base file right there, and I'll link out to that. And it's letting basically everything you need to put your XML file together. So I'm going to go over here with preferences, and you have orientation. You can change it to where it's a default to where it goes both landscape and portrait, or you can set up as landscape or portrait. And how you do that is preference name equals orientation, value equals landscape. You can just copy that. And so if I only want it to be landscape, or if I only want it to be portrait, and just plug it in there. It's as simple as that. There's iOS only, there's Android only, and all of that. So you can peruse through here as you build out your apps and figure out what you need. You can add in plugins. There's a ton of plugins for PhoneGap. A lot of them revolving around photo support, sharing on Facebook and Twitter, and all the other different elements. And it's extremely helpful to use. So this is the basic setup, though. This is everything that we need. Access origin is in there so that we can actually go out to external servers and pull in information. So that is what that is for. And once all of this is done, the way that you go through and actually configure this to be ready for PhoneGap, and I just double clicked on my cat app folder here. So we have our config.xml, functions, icon, index, jQuery, and main.css. All we have to do is grab all of that and archive it. So we're going to compress all 6 of the items, and you have this archive.zip. Now from there you can go into your PhoneGap. If you have an Adobe account set up, it's free with your Adobe account. It's not that it's free, but yeah, it's with your Adobe account. And you can go in. I'm going to sign in with my Adobe ID real quick, show you how this works. Okay, new app. All right, so you're going to click New App in the upper right-hand corner here and upload zip file. Now this zip file is what we just made, this archive.zip. Click Open. And once it populates, you'll be able to see actually all the information. Cat pictures, there's our icon. It's an app dedicated to pulling in photos of cats and saving your favorites. The version's 1.0. It's putting in my email address from my account. And you can click Ready to Build whenever you're ready to build the app. Now, don't be alarmed when you click Ready to Build. You're going to get an error with iOS. You actually have to go and get an iOS developer account, which costs $99 a year. And you'll have to get a key and all of that. That's a whole other tutorial. But Android is going to work because you don't need a key and all of that to set up for Android. So if you do have an Android device and you've gotten to the point where you've built the app, you can download the APK file and actually test out the app on your phone. But again, it's not going to be any different than what this is right here, except for the fact that it's on your phone. So if you don't have a phone or anything to test on, or you don't have a build account, you can just come through and look at it inside of Chrome, and it'll look just like it will. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment, ask away, and thanks a lot.